Next month, I'm going to go carnivore, and all my meat's going to be coming from Costco or this local butcher place that me and my wife are going to start going to. Only animal products. Yeah, for just a month. Every February, I like to give myself like a disciplinary challenge, kind of against the grain for me. And this year, I am doing carnivore diet. Eating only meat is a very healthy diet. You're going to be going ketogenic. I've been reading this book by this physician who went carnivore, and he's been carnivore for 11 years. And I'm reading the book, and he has like all of these things about diet and food that are pretty crazy to read. Nope, no protein powder next month. Whey protein is an animal product. If I could find whey protein that is exclusively whey protein, but dude, they have additives. They put in maltodextrin. I understand whey is a dairy byproduct, but for those of you who do not consume whey protein on a regular basis or don't pay attention to labels, if you go look at the back of your whey protein, it's not exclusively whey protein. They add so much shit in there to make it taste good. But yeah, for the month of February, it's gonna be butter, eggs, raw milk at a local farm I can find, meat, so fish, pork, chicken. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because I've got a sweet tooth that could put all of you to shame. So something that I've learned from reading this doctor's book is when you put yourself in a diet where you consume the exact same things on a repeated basis, causes your body to start having less of a craving for high calories, right? So let's say your daily caloric intake is around 3,000 calories, right? You're obviously at a calorie surplus unless you're being active. If you had your diet consume the exact same things at the exact same times every day, there's some kind of metabolic system. There's a metabolic system that starts kicking in where your body stops craving food except that small whatever you're eating, and it makes it to where your body actually doesn't want to consume any more calories beyond it. I don't understand all the science behind it, but essentially especially when you're in a keto diet, your body just naturally needs less calories to function. Anyways, the point I'm getting at, Worstinator, because I'm gonna be buying my meat in bulk and I'm gonna be eating my three meals a day kind of thing, I don't see it being much more expensive than everything else that I do. It's such like a complicated topic. And I could not comprehend on how when you're done with surgery. You know what I had when I was done with surgery? Fucking Jello. They gave me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and fucking Jello. What is that? Probably close to 100 grams of sugar. Why would a hospital do that? Why wouldn't they serve me fucking, fruit and vegetables and some kind of chicken or something? I think it's funny, Worstinator, that you're so you're so concerned with me going carnivore. You're sitting here calling the person whose book I'm listening to a quack. You're saying it's a quack. You're concerned about my diet. It's really funny because you've been grasped by the whole concept that eating meat is bad for you. It's insane. You can't believe the guy's a doctor. I can't believe people on this channel think that they have any fucking understanding of dietary functions in a body. Isn't Dr. Baker a doctor? Yeah, he has a PhD. Unban request, whatever it is, I'm denying it. Chat's just trying to fucking piss me off today. That's all they're trying to do. I don't know why you're taking personal. I'm questioning statements of someone whose book you are reading. Critical thinking is encouraged in general in academia, and if Sean Baker is a good doctor, you'd be happy to be such a cause of discussion. The problem is, Worstinator, is I'm sharing an aspect of my life, and I'm having it questioned. I don't care what your opinion is on my lifestyle. I am trying to do it. I'm not asking your opinion on it. I'm not sitting here asking, gee, chat, do you think that this is a good idea for me? I'm sitting here sharing part of my life. I'm having a conversation. I don't want to sit there and every time what? It's like, oh, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes. And it's like, well, Tofu, you see you buying this pair of shoes? It's going to cause this, and this. So when you come in and you become accusatory of what I'm doing, saying like, well, this seems stupid. Why are you doing this? Why are you listening to this person? My stream has a knack for, you know why? It's because I attract all the fucking idiots, Barb. That's what it is. I have monetized stupidity, and all I get now is fucking idiots. It's my own fault. Did you know that there's tons of vitamins inside of meat? Did you know when you consume a bunch of carbohydrates, the vehicles in your body which move the vitamins, they share the same vehicle with that which moves carbs. So when you have a heavy carbohydrate meal, you are essentially forcing your body to pick, what are we going to process, vitamins or carbs? And guess what it's going to move first? Yeah, so every year on February, I always do kind of some disciplinary thing. Last year, I went to the gym for 31 days straight and burned a minimum of 500 calories every day. And that was like just a goal I gave myself because I really wanted to push the gym. This year, I was like, well, I could do the same thing again. Or, you know what? I think I should probably have a dietary change, because something that I have a hard time with is my diet. I'm lucky to have like, I'm very active and I have a high metabolism, but I still don't eat as well as I would like. And it's because I have a really, really, really bad sugar tooth. Every night when my son goes to bed, you know what I'm doing? I'm going in the fucking freezer. I'm pulling out some vanilla ice cream. I think occasionally going and having your ice cream, or, you know, occasionally having a PB&J could be nice, but every day, struggle with the self-discipline of food. Did you know that if you bake a potato, let it cool, then reheat it, you will lower the glycemic index load of the potato? So is that like a double-baked potato? Because usually, if I'm baking a potato twice, I'm taking out all the good stuff, mixing it with sour cream and chives and butter, and then putting it back in the skin of the potato, dazzling some fucking cheese on it, and then putting it back in for the bake. Does that lower the glycemic index? Maybe a little bit of egg, you know, put some egg yolks in there. My biggest goal with this is to just reduce the amount of processed food I eat. That is probably like the #1 part of this goal, is just, I'm tired of eating processed shit. You guys know that feeling of where you have so many good things happening in your life that you're just waiting for that one bad thing to happen? I've had that feeling now for like the past 3 months, and I think the only thing I'm waiting for to happen is like something in my health to just go wrong. You know, like I've got a pre-cancer condition. I'm turning 34 years old. Got that paranoia, man. I'm trying to be incredibly conscientious with what I eat. I know once February comes around and I kickstart that, once I commit to a challenge, I never break it, right? I just commit. But I need that, like, that day to start. That day is February 1st. I think after that, I think I'm good on processed shit for a long time. Today was my first day not having pre-workout in roughly 2 years. We got this. Dude, there are challenges that I've done that are harder than this, and the challenge breaks before my spirit does. You would have just slept at the gym, and dude, well, I'm going on a special diet in February, so I'm not going to be able to have pre-workout, and I figure, fuck it, start early, get used to it now. My new pre-workout's going to be cardio. It's going to be a glass of cold water. I don't know, well, why the diet? So every year, Azure, on February, I like to put myself in some kind of disciplinary challenge of something that I really don't want to do. Last year, I went to the gym for 31 days in a row, even on my birthday. And even when I had like 2 hours of sleep, no matter what, I made it to the gym. And I was really happy. I was really proud of myself. Well, Loppy, that would be great, but around me, all I have is coyotes, rabbit, and quail. Eat the coyotes, you fail to see the problem. If the goal is unprocessed foods, why leave out vegetables? Because out of any diet, the only one that really interests me is carnivore. I guess I could like technically go just keto. So, you know, tomorrow I'm starting my carnivore diet, and my birthday's in February, and my mother-in-law knows that I don't like cake. So she made me a pie and gave it to me yesterday, saying, I know you won't be able to enjoy this on your birthday, so I made it for you today. She's a sweet dude. I fucking love my mother-in-law. I'm not gonna poop for a month. I'm not gonna make the joke that came to my head. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Need fiber. No, we need it. Totally need fiber. No, that's totally why babies, from the moment they're born, they're on the titty, and they don't have any fiber at all. You know, that's totally why. Be mean, you can take it, and yep, tomorrow. You know, now that the day's here, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it anymore. Dude, I had a banana this morning, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the last banana I have for a month. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm gonna go on the carnivore diet for February. No, it's just, dude, I already know. I've got a pretty strong addiction to sugar. Your cholesterol could never. Well, there's a thing, you know, like everyone's always like paranoid about LDL cholesterol, right? Like that's like the big scare. So the problem with cholesterol, from what I've understood, it's not the cholesterol itself. It is the vehicle that transports the cholesterol around your body. When you load your body with carbs and sugar, you are essentially slowing down the mechanism that can properly dispose of and transport the cholesterol where it needs to go. And that is like the big misconception. I'm not saying that everyone should eat meat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the nutritional education that we grew up with is mostly all fucking bullshit. The food pyramid is fucking humongous bullshit. Dietary standards are bullshit. When you go to a hospital and you stay, they give you fucking jello and sandwiches loaded with carbs and fucking nonsense. It makes no fucking, it's just 2 and 2 are not connecting. Didn't it move away from the food pyramid after Obama? Yeah, and they introduced the food plate, which was no fucking better. It still has like tons of bread and grain on there. Like, we have to eat it. They intend to feed for nourishment. What is nourishing about fucking jello and sandwiches loaded with mayonnaise and fucking mustard and You know, like, I just, dude, you're not, I'm not gonna be convinced here. What specific meat? Mostly red meat. I want to try a couple different meats that I've never had before. Like, I would love to try liver. I want to try out some chicken hearts. I've never had chicken hearts before. Speedrun getting gout. I'll be fine. I'm not doing it for like the rest of my life. I'm doing it for a month. And isn't gout usually caused by having a combination of tons of red meat and tons of carbs? Pretty sure the carbs play a pretty big role in that. I'm starting it tomorrow, which is why I need to be this, because I already know I'm gonna be a moody fucking bitch for the first couple days. I am absolutely addicted to fucking sugar. I know it. I feel it right now. I'm like, dude, there's more pie inside of the kitchen. I want pie. I'm gonna feel good. I'm excited. I have never gone through a diet where I have not consumed sugar. Do you have any tips if you wanted to try and work out for 30 minutes every day? You need to develop some kind of habit that's going to force you to do it. For me, it has always been, if I drink my pre-workout and have my workout clothes on, I have to go. Because one, I'm changed. I took the effort to change. And then two, the pre-workout is going to make my skin crawl if I don't get my heart rate up. That's like my method. And now I'm just like, I haven't had any pre-workout in 3 days. And when I first get to the gym, I'm fucking miserable, but I'm fine now. What was the reason to cut pre-workout? I didn't want to shock my system too much by reducing my caffeine intake, carb intake. You know, I'm gonna be tanking if I do all that. So I've been reducing my caffeine intake over the past week. That's something else I'm absolutely addicted to, but that's an addiction I'm comfortable with, is caffeine. I have a bad night with my kid, that coffee, I'm having coffee. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what diet I'm on. Let me finish my breakfast real quick. Day 1 of carnivore diet. Breakfast is eggs and coffee. I already missed having banana. No, meats for lunch. Yeah, no, it's perfect. You see, my strat here is I am going to put vegan as a tag. This is going to attract people to my stream who are also vegan, and then we're going to be able to berate them, make fun of them, and they're probably going to type something stupid enough, which is going to warrant a tier 2 sub, which will then make me profit. So the vegan tag is a psyop, essentially, to get people to come to my stream so I can make more money. It's a content machine. Yep, I'm starting today, or I have started today, I should say. I cooked up a loin. I didn't finish all of the apple pie, chat. I couldn't do it. There wasn't enough space in my belly. No, it's just animal products. Anything that comes from an animal, from the nose to the tail. Okay, so coffee is the one thing where I am making an exception, because I have to have coffee. What am I gonna eat for micronutrients? There's tons of nutrients inside of meat. Meat doesn't have vitamin C, surely. Go look it up. Look at it. I love that you guys are all so interested in my diet and observing everything. But what you should do, I highly implore you, is to go look up the nutrients of meat. I doubt you even know what you are consuming on a daily basis. You are going completely off of what you believe you're eating. Big Meat definitely owns this, man. Yeah, I'm owned by Big Meat. It's the meat between Mame Freak's legs. I love that everyone is so concerned about my diet. If I was to sit here and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and ramen every day, no one would bat a fucking eye. As a runner, I conditioned myself to consume too many carbs. I couldn't give up rice or bread or pasta. Bro, while we're talking about food and diet, I found out some European nations have classified Alzheimer's as an eating disorder. They found out when they switched to keto diets, it allows the body to get nutrients to the brain, and they've started to make small improvements. Dude, how many people do not realize how fucking bad modern diet is? And you guys just stop talking about how bad it is. I want to live my life. Fruits are good, but fruits have a lot of vitamins. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You want the food that you're consuming to have some kind of meaning beyond just carbohydrate. If you have like raspberries are high in vitamin C, antioxidants, and they have carbs and sugars in them. So it's like, it's a plus. It's a plus to have it all. Look at, man, if you don't have your food be your medicine, you will be treating medicine as your food when you are older. We all think now we're fine. We're 30 years old. But when you're fucking 50 and you're being forced to have 8 pills a day, you're going to be sitting there wishing when you were younger, you treated a little bit nicer to your body. Why is that such a controversial statement? You got a good beef recipe? Dude, toss it in my Discord or DM it to me. I'm down. However, if you tell me to put fucking ketchup, inside of this recipe, I'm gonna ban you. Dude, Bird Persona, the fucking guy who's been saying that he was a chef for 20 years. He's like, I have a great recipe for a marinade. And what is his fucking recipe? He tells me, like, the first 2 ingredients are ketchup and Coca-Cola. How to lose all respect for me in a single second. For a marinade, why not? Because ketchup and fucking Coca-Cola is like 90% just refined sugar. Anything you put into a marinade.
Shut the fuck up.
With Coca-Cola and ketchup is gonna make it taste good no matter what. There is nothing. Look it. You could just put it in ketchup and Coca-Cola and anything else is gonna. It doesn't matter what you put in. It doesn't matter what you put in. After those two ingredients, it's gonna taste good. What do you think marinades are? It's a way to flavor the meat and break it up so that way it tastes delicious. It's going to set a flavor for the meat. How's the diet going? Don't mention it. I'm addicted to sugar, okay? I'm so incredibly addicted to sugar. Dude, I went into a meat shop yesterday, or like a butcher. They had an A5 Wagyu ribeye roast, and it was like $500 for the whole thing. How's my new diet going? I have realized that I have a tremendous addiction to sugar because the idea of having a single raspberry right now, it sounds, oh, just one raspberry. It's natural sugar, yeah, but I'm not having any for a month. The triangle grilled cheese sandwich press? No. Dude, you put a dried tomato slice on a grilled cheese. It needs to be a dried tomato though, because the dried tomato has all of the sugar come out. Makes it taste a little sweet. Fuck you guys. Stop talking about great sandwiches. I can't have any right now. Am I doing keto? Worse. That's been left in the sun for too long? No. Dude, carb withdrawal is such a fucking bitch. No chicken. I'm trying to stick to beef. I've got fucking, what, 3 more weeks of this shit? Today is day number 7, chat. Day number 7 of only eating fucking meat and cheese and water and 1 cup of coffee. Oh, and eggs, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, my bowel movements are great. Everyone got, you know, everywhere I looked, like when I was researching this diet, everyone talked a lot about having like really bad diarrhea. I haven't had anything. It's completely normal. Isn't diarrhea a symptom of rabid famine? Well, when people talk about rabid famine, what that means is they have too little fat in their diet, right? Like if you were to live in the wilderness and if you were to only eat rabbit, you get what's called rabid famine. And it's because the meat from a rabbit doesn't have the nutrients vital to survive. You have to have more than just rabbit meat. Could be you're supposed to have as much fat as you can. The literature shows that to have like optimum health with this diet, you should consume about 1 gram of fat per pound of body weight. It's pretty challenging, dude. Don't get me wrong, I love eating meat, and eating the fatty parts of meat is really tasty. But I mean, I'm so addicted to sugar, dude. I had a pretty strict diet. I did before October, but even then, dude, you know, like I would occasionally have like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Not even occasionally, I would have one like almost every other day. Basically, what I'm trying to say is my cravings are just through the roof. Whichever one says they get better, and I fucking hope they do, because right now, it's like, dude, I could just demolish 10 boxes of Gushers. It's your gut bacteria dying from lack of the one food, and they eat that translates in your head as, I could go for XYZ. So wait, when you don't have tons of sugar, your gut, there's bacteria in your gut that just flat out dies? No, it hasn't impacted my lifting at all. If anything, I feel stronger. Yesterday, I was able to bench press 295 pounds 3 times for the first time. Yeah, and to consider, just so you're aware, I'm not planning on doing this long term. I'm someone who, whenever I do something like disciplinary, I always try and do something that's very extreme, even for me. Every time I'm sitting there craving sugar, I'm like, do I have such little control of my body and my impulses that I cannot reject sugar for just a month? Like a month. We're talking a month out of my entire life. And if I can't control that, then, you know, to me, that's just like, to me, it's just important to be able to have that kind of control of your body. I can say beyond the first month, I'm not gonna keep this up long term, that's for sure. Maybe I'll like switch to something not as intense. Side platter of entrails? No, I'm having leftover steak. I want to get myself a liver and heart. I've never had either, but I hear they're both really, really good if you're on carny. So lately, I've been putting salt in my coffee, right? Because the diet I'm on, it's really easy to not get enough salt. So I just put like a pinch. This morning, I accidentally peppered my coffee instead of salting it. How was the taste? Well, I ended up spooning out all the pepper because it sat at the top. I'm really nervous to get to the bottom of the coffee though, because there's no way I got out all the pepper. The thing when you go low carb, you lose lots of water, Yeah, so when you have a low-carb diet and you're not constantly spiking insulin, I want to say your liver tells your kidneys to basically drop all the salt. So it's really easy to lose out of, you're not consuming enough salt in your diet because your kidney starts dropping tons of salt. And that's how you start getting headaches. It's your pituitary gland? Is that what it is? It is very challenging, Droogie. Carbs in general, you know, like the other day, my wife had mac and cheese with my son, and I'm just sitting there like... My bowel movements have been fine. When I was reading up on the diet, I read the same thing, and I heard the same thing from a lot of the testimony that people have. And so far, it's normal. My knees have stopped hurting. You could ask anyone on my channel for like the past 2 years that I've been going to the gym. I haven't been able to squat a lot of weight because my knees, they give out and they just tremendous pain. The one thing that I've noticed is within the first week, my knees have no more pain, which means that there was something that I was eating that was causing some kind of inflammation inside of my knees. Yesterday, we put this in the oven and let it cook for 18 hours. And this is the first brisket I ever did with all the fat trimmings. I made beef tallow. I've never used beef tallow before. But now this is like solidifying and turning into butter. And then with all the cracklings I used to make the beef tallow, I've got dog treats. It's perfect. I used the entire brisket. All of it became used. Proud of me? Dude, I'm proud of myself. You know, if anything, even though I have to be, I'm gonna be completely transparent, okay? This diet sucks. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate this diet. I do not recommend it unless you want some drastic, you need some drastic changes in your life. Yeah, like after this month is over, I am definitely not going to continue this diet. Okay, here's some takeaways, right? A lot of people, when they do a carnivore diet, they do anything that is produced or from an animal. I am, however, cutting out mostly milk and honey too. Yeah, I'm just having only red meat, salt, and water. Oh, and coffee. I need coffee. Coffee is my one thing that I am not getting rid of probably ever in my life. I think we'll probably cook a brisket again in like March or something, maybe April, because it's so much meat right now that I'm essentially giving half of it to my in-laws to take home because there is no possible way I could get through that entire thing, and then it's gonna go bad, and then it's a waste. I don't like wasting food, especially meat. If you have like part of a loaf of bread that goes bad, you know, whatever, it's a loaf of bread. You have like a piece of meat that you cooked and you didn't end up eating. What did I do? I went to the farmer's market. I took my son to the park. I literally touched grass. You got a bunch of local farms. I'm trying to find a place that is a good source of raw cow's milk. That's like been my whole goal, is I'm trying to find a farmer that I can trust who does have a good farm, that they adhere to certain standards. Don't drink raw milk. Oh no, don't drink it. I believe a law that was passed in 1906 because there was tuberculosis, because people let their shit have milk in it. You have regulations. Okay, so Tinny, do you know why we have a regulation in the United States for raw cow's milk? It made people sick. So if that's the case, then how come we have we allow cigarettes to be sold? How come we allow all kinds of red dyes to be put into our food? How come we are allowing high fructose corn syrup? Why do we allow alcohol but we don't allow raw cow's milk, when the only reason it was banned was because in 1906 there was a massive tuberculosis outbreak in Massachusetts that was killing people? Yeah, the farmers basically sold their milk. And not even that, you know what they were feeding cows in 1906? They were feeding cows the fermented leftovers of beer production. So they made the beer, and the leftover parts of the beer in the barrel, they fucking scooped it all up and put it in the trough for the cow to eat. It made the fucking cow super sick. It made their milk production awful. And then they didn't have any hygiene. I mean, wasn't it in like the early 1900s, we still made fun of people for washing our hands? If you washed your hands as a doctor, you were made fun of and looked at as a quack, because how are there these miniature particles we can't see that are making everyone fucking sick? You don't like arguing without resources? I don't think you need resources to look at people in the 1950s and realize that right now there are so many people who are obese, morbidly obese. Everyone's on some kind of depression shit. Everyone is suffering from some kind of dramatic depression. It's like, how many people are on SSRIs in the United States alone? Like, it's 1 in 4 people. I don't know, man. I don't trust any of it. And I want to try some raw fucking cow's milk. from a farmer that I can trust. That's what I want to do. And you know what? If it makes me sick, it's no shits off your ass. Don't even get me started on tap water. Just get your own cow. Well, you know what? I would love to, but guess what? The government, you know what the government says in my city? I'm not allowed to have a cow. I'm not even trying to speak for anyone other than myself. I'm not sitting here saying, man, everyone should drink cow's milk. I'm saying I want to try it. And just that alone, there were 3 different people in chat saying, no, Tofu, don't do that. There's a reason it's banned. Why would you even think of doing something like that? When I started Carnivore, you actually looked into it, even though you were sus, but most people here didn't. It's complicated, right? Because what do you do when the main studies that are used in medicine today, preached by, I'm sure, all of the doctors that you guys have in chat, every single one of them is going to have the idea that LDL cholesterol is so bad for you. Meanwhile, you look at the study that even suggested that in the first place, and you find out that it was lobbied by Coca-Cola to try and draw a irregularity in the conclusion, tying everything to butter and fat and saying sugar is okay. 1950. They're all going to be using that same exact form. I'm not anti-doctor. I'm just saying, doesn't that give you a cause to just be a little like, you know, maybe I should look into other things that I've been told that don't seem to add up to me. You do feel bad when people get a bad doctor. When I went to the doctor with knee pain, they immediately wanted to put me on painkillers, and I didn't even ask for it. If you try and give me pills right off the bat, I just go away. Google's more useful than you are. You know what I mean? Go away. That I mix raw honey with raw milk, and this is my treat for a Sunday night. You just learned there's no protein in honey? I've been on a honey kick. Yeah, there's no protein in honey. Dude, I went to my local farmer's market. They were selling their own honey there, and they gave me a sample. And dude, oh my God, it's like gold. How's the diet? It's hard as fuck, Lich. It's hard as fuck. Once a week, I allow myself some milk and honey. Man, it is the best tasting thing in the entire world. Yeah, the diet's really hard. My cravings have mostly stopped. Those first 2 weeks, anytime I came across anything that was even slightly sweet, I was like, I want it. Now I'm fine. You know, I've got to say, I can't exactly put my thumb on what it is, on what makes me feel so much better. Lighter is a good word, yeah. I feel lighter. My head fog is definitely reduced. I have so much energy for having so little caffeine throughout the day. I should try and pinpoint why. I mean, there has to be something that I was eating that was definitely slugging me down. I'm definitely gonna adjust the diet though. I feel like this diet's too extreme to keep long term. How's the carnivore diet treating me? It's hard. I'm ready for it to be over with. I don't have any cravings or anything. I just want to eat, you know, I want to eat something that's not meat. If I have to say one thing about this diet that's been fucking awesome, it's my willingness now to try so many new things. Like I had a liver for the first time. I've tried a chicken heart, cooked a brisket all by myself. Never did that before. Made me learn like the positives of raw milk. And now that's like all I drink for milk anymore. Liver's your guilty pleasure snack. Dude, liver's just flat out, it's so good for you. No, Roberto, that's actually not true. Calories in versus calories out is actually not true anymore. Because you have things that are considered not calorie dense. It has been true always. No, that's false. Like, so when things have diet, like, so a lot of people like to drink Diet Coke and Coke Zero. There's tons of research out now that shows that when you consume sucralose, it confuses the gut, the bacteria in your gut, where they can't communicate and they can't properly digest. In terms of weight gain, calories in, calories out is king. The simple physics, facts, not up for debate. You can say that all you want. If your body is not able to properly digest the food, it doesn't matter if it's calories in, calories out. If you sit there and cram sucralose down your throat, it's going to cause insulin resistance, which is going to cause you to retain a lot more weight. In the end, calories in versus calories out. You clearly know better than everyone else here, Roberto. Everyone's different. You have to find what works for you. Fundamentally, I would agree, yeah. I'm not weighing myself until my diet is over, which will be next Thursday. Before I started my diet, I weighed 212, and I feel like I can see it that I've lost tons of weight. So I'm really curious to see, but I'm waiting until February's over. I'm 5'11". What's work for you is cutting out all sweets like lattes and stuff. I do 2 meals, high fat, high protein breakfast, and a lean meat and veg dinner. That's all you eat. The one thing that I've noticed while being on carnivore is my joint pain is gone. And if you've ever watched my channel, you've always heard me like bitch about my knees. I've always had terrible knees to where like squatting down hurts. And just last week I was fucking squatting 225 like it was nothing because there's no more pain. And what that tells me is that there's some food I'm eating is causing my joints to have pain. So once February is over, I plan to slowly introduce like fruits first, and then veggies. And then like maybe I'll have bread at the very end. But I'm gonna just slowly start introducing everything because dude, not having knee pain, it like I forgot what it felt like. Why wouldn't it be the food? I didn't even consider it was the food. And that's not even why I started the diet either. The whole reason I fucking started the diet is because every February I like to put myself through some kind of extreme disciplinary challenge. You know, Berto, it's actually funny. Everyone keeps asking how like my colon is, and I'm fine. No fiber. It turns out you don't need fiber. How do you poop with no fiber? The same way I've always pooped. There has to be some truth. I may have just got lucky. What I hear a lot of people say is they don't eat enough fat. I can say in the future I'm never gonna do this diet again though. I can say it's very challenging. I would rather go to the gym 31 days straight like I did last year and have only meat, eggs, and dairy for an entire fucking month. How am I feeling about being done with the meat diet? I'm excited to be done. I'm excited to see what foods I was eating that were causing my knees to hurt. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what else it would be because the only thing that okay, so I've lost, I'm going to just throw it out there that I'm guessing I lost probably close to 15 pounds over the course of this month. But aside from like the weight loss, the main thing that I noticed instantly is my knee pain was just gone. Like gone. I never anticipated that. I never knew that that was going to be some kind of side effect of any kind. You don't feel like it's sustainable? Some people find it sustainable. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just, dude, you know, like I don't want to like fucking, I want to be able to have sushi with my family when I want to have fucking sushi with my family. You know what I mean? If I want to have some pre-workout, I want to have some fucking pre-workout. Yeah, I want to find that out. From what I've seen, a lot of people say that they get joint pains when they eat vegetables because they have a certain gene that they get tested for, and they have a gene that the vegetables cause like severe inflammation. A lot of people say it was cutting out all sources of seed oils, because that's the other thing is I haven't had any seed oils at all. I haven't had fucking avocado oil. I haven't had olive oil, any kind of oil. What I've been cooking in is only butter and beef tallow this entire month. Did I get stronger? No, actually. Well, it's hard to say because I did deadlift 340 pounds and I did bench press 295. And I've never done that before. However, I will say without question, my pump is not the same. I don't get the same pump. That's because every morning I had pre-workout, and now when I go to the gym, I just have water. So I haven't had pre-workout for a month. And the amount of caffeine that I've had is like 1 cup of coffee a day. That's good? Fuck, it's good. Fuck you, it's good. Fuck yourself. It ain't good. It sucks. You know how hard it is when your son and kicks you and fucking slaps you in the middle of your sleep all night long, and then you wake up and you go to the gym and trying to exert yourself to have like bring yourself to your VO2 max? Yeah, fucking right. Is it good? Yeah, just and that's not even about like fucking streaming. You know how fucked up it would be for my social battery if I just had no caffeine? Shit. Can't believe it. Well, you knew the night that I had. I can't believe it either. Guess what? It's March 1st. I can have an energy drink again. Oh, wow. It tastes way too sweet, if I'm being completely honest. That almost... Wow. The carbonation is nice, but man, that is fucking sweet.
Famous tropical meat.
Oh, Chad, I'm starting to get hungry. I can have a banana.
You want some?
I can have. Well, we don't have any bananas. Now that it's March 1st. How went the month of carnivore? I'm glad to be done, but I will definitely be making permanent life changes to my diet because carnivore made me feel so much better. You know, it made me try different meat that I never would have tried before. Like I tried bison meat. I never would have thought to try bison meat. It made me try liver because that's how you only got certain nutrients. You throw in vegetables. I plan to have veggies. So here's my plan. When I went on carnivore, within the first 2 weeks, the first thing I noticed is my knee pain gone. I used to have really bad knee pain that made it to where I couldn't work out my legs as effectively as I wanted to. And that's gone to where I can do it now. So my plan is I'm going to slowly introduce things into my diet to see what was causing it. First things first, energy drink. I'm gonna give my body some time to develop see what that's like, and see if my knee hurts again tomorrow or the next day. And then I'm gonna start introducing fruit. And then once that's done, I'm gonna try introducing vegetables until I find out what was causing it. It had to be an inflammatory thing. There's nothing else that I changed. For some, carbohydrates are inflammatory. I'm really curious to see what it is. So last night, me and Caitlin got sushi, and I gotta say, my stomach has shrank so much. I used to be able to put down like 5 plates of sushi, and yesterday I put 2 down, and I just did not feel good. Well, I mean, think about it, Verdo. Up until yesterday, I was eating around like 6 eggs and 1.5 pounds of meat a day. And that was my diet. I think it was the rice that made me feel so heavy and sick last night. And sick's not the right word. It was just like, oh, you know how you eat a lot of food and you're like, you get that. Oh, how have your knees been since getting off carnivore? My knees are still fine. The only thing that I've eaten so far, so I've added fruit to my diet, and then Friday I had sushi, and so far my knees feel fine. I'm trying to slowly introduce food back into my diet. So I'm mostly still eating meat, but like right now I'm having a banana. Thursday I plan to start having vegetables again. I think I'm just gonna keep bread out of my diet. No reason to keep eating bread unless my wife makes it from home. Oh, but dude, everything's great right now. Oh, aside from one thing, chat. The other night I had these breaded mahi fish tacos. I had cabbage and like some kind of sauce. The day after, like fucking clockwork, my knees started hurting even more so than before my diet thing. Gout, Joe and Philly, every time you talk in my channel, I always debate on banning you. You literally have no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like gout to you? So I had knee pain before. I've been slowly reintroducing stuff back into my diet. So like I had fruit for a week. And fruit, I was fine. I haven't had any vegetables yet, and I had fish tacos the other night. It was like the next morning, getting up out of bed, I could just feel it in my knees. It sounds like food in the US is shit. Dude, food in the US is shit. Yeah, it might be the cabbage, it might be the breading on the fish, it might be the corn tortillas that I had with the tacos, it might have been the sauce. You're starting carnivore on the 18th. Make sure that you eat enough fat. Make sure the meat that you get, don't fucking pussyfoot and get that 88317 shit. If you do ground meat sesame cakes, make sure it's like 20%. Make sure you get like 20% fat. Find a place that sells liver. Liver's a really good source of dense nutrition. You get like tons of vitamins. I found a place that sells frozen liver. It's like these 4-packs, and they tasted fine. Don't get whey tallow. That shit is a fucking scam. Make your own tallow. How do you make your own tallow? Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go to Costco and find brisket, and you're going to cut and trim all the extra fat on the outside of that brisket off, so that way you can farm some tallow. And then you put it on a stove at low heat for like 2 hours. It's gonna turn all that fat into like the liquid, you know. It's gonna be like it's gonna render down into a liquid. I just trimmed all the fat on the outside of the brisket, so that way I could get a fuckload of tallow. I got one of those full mason jars of tallow. Will I do a cooking stream again? Yeah, probably. Just right now, it's like, there's no point in cooking because my diet is just meat and berries. Except Sundays. Sundays, I let myself pig out a little bit. But when I say pig out, that's just eat like everyone else does. Today we had a place called Freddy's, and it makes me not even want to have a cheat day. Well, dude, you know why? It's because you feel so good when you eat well that when your body starts consuming shit, it doesn't feel good anymore. And you just always feel that way, and you don't realize. Like, you don't realize how good you could feel if you ate right. You don't care for cheat days? It's not even that I care for cheat days. It's more so that, like, the convenience of just like, oh, you're out and about. My wife is not on a diet. I am. Like, oh, well, am I gonna like go to a place that's gonna restrict her where she might not enjoy it? I've eliminated a couple things, Lich. Cabbage and seed oils is a no-brainer. Cabbage and seed oils hurt my knees a lot. My knees were hurting the other day, and the only difference that I made in my diet for a couple days was I had pre-workout. I'm pretty confident that pre-workout hurts my knees, and if that's the case, I'm very sad. That means I have to stop taking it. Were you able to confirm whether it was the pre-workout or cabbage that's causing my knee pain? I'm pretty confident it's both. You'd hate to not. I mean, the thing is like, it's not that I'm not able to, it's that it's like a sacrifice, right? Just like if I wanted to eat nothing but like blueberry muffins for the rest of my life, it would make me obese. It's like, if I eat cabbage, it's going to cause me knee pain for a couple days. So it's just like a sacrifice that I have to be aware of. Blueberry muffins are tasty. No shit, with how much sugar's inside of them.